Now we look at some functions of epithelial tissues and location where these epithelial tissues are found. For example, we consider the heart. The outermost covering of the heart is consists of this epithelial tissue. So we know about heart. It expands and contracts during its function. So when it expands and contracts, there is a motion of heart that may cause a friction with the neighboring organs such as lungs. So in order to avoid this, lining of epithelial tissue present around the heart, which is moist and very thin, that prevent the friction between the neighboring organs and protect the organ or the heart from the friction. Also protect heart from some other microbial infections. So the first function is lining up the free surface and provide protection. Example, we can consider heart. Another important function is the absorptive function. If we consider a digestive tract, the internal surface of the digestive tract consists of this epithelial tissue. So when I say digestive tract, the stomach belongs to that, the small intestine, then the large intestine, all belongs to this digestive tract. So, you know, the digestion process takes place in this digestive tract such as stomach and small intestine are absorbed, the digested food materials are absorbed into the body. So, the process of absorption of this digested food are taken place through the epithelial tissue that is lining the digestive tract. So, the important which is the absorptive function and it is carried out in digestive tract. Example, stomach, small intestine. Also, we can include large intestine for absorption of water and some minerals. The third function is the perception of stimuli. When I say perception of stimuli, we consider some organs like our nose or tongue. We say in the basement membrane it contains a rich of nerve cord. This nerve cord ends at certain level and this extends further in the nose and tongue and joins with the epithelial tissue or the extension or the terminal part of the nervous fibers. We call this as a epithelial fibers. These epithelial fibers involved in the sensation of smell in nose or sensation of taste in our tongue, and so this epithelial tissue involved in another function of perception of stimuli, example tongue and nose. Another important function is the secretory function. So when I say secretory function, if we consider our respiratory tract, we know in the air there may be some dust, some polluted particles or some other particles in the air. But if we inhale all the air with all this pollution, our lungs, it may cause some harm to our lungs. To avoid these lungs, the internal layers or the internal surface of the lungs or the epithelial layer in the internal layer of the respiratory tract, this secretes a special fluid called mucus. This mucus traps the dust particles and allow the pure air to be passed into the lungs. So it is an important feature of the epithelial tissue is secretory function. It is taking place in the respiratory tract, especially in trachea. Another important feature is the filtering function. We consider filtering our excretory system. The main organ in excretory system is the kidney. In the kidney, the important, the fundamental unit that forms the kidney, we call it as a nephron. Or nephron is a basic functional unit that involves in the filtering process or excretory process. In this process, if we consider the cap-like structure of this nephron, that's where all the fluids are secreted into. Here, all the excretory or the waste materials can be absorbed. So we call this process as a filtering, and that is taking place on the Bowman's capsule of the nephron. Now we will move into the next type of tissue called connective tissue. When I say connective tissue, from the term itself, we can have an idea what should be the connective tissue. The connective tissue is a tissue that involves in maintaining connection between two different organs or two different tissues. We call it as a connective tissue. For example, our blood. So when I say blood, you know, the blood from the heart, it passes to lungs and absorbs the oxygen and take the oxygen to the necessary organs or all the organs and cells of the body, and from all the sides of the body takes the excretory gases or the carbon dioxide into the lungs bag, and also it takes nutrition to the kidney, and from kidney after the filtrate it takes the from all the sides takes the nutrition, from all the cells it takes the excretory product into the kidney. Also it passes into digestive tract and takes the nutrition from digestive tract and passes to all the necessary organs. So important feature that maintains the connection between tissues and cells. Another example we can consider bones, that maintains the connection between entire skeletal system, and another one is cartilage. And another important example is the connective tissue that is present beneath the skin. This connective tissue maintains a connection between the skin and the muscles of our body. Let's look at some common features of this connective tissue. If we consider connective tissue, different types of cells are present. So one feature is presence of different types of cells. Another feature is the presence of different types of different types of fibers. So first feature is presence of different types of cells, and another feature is presence of different types of fibers. And these cells and fibers are present in a large inorganic matrix. Matrix is the substance where these cells and fibers are present. We call that place as matrix. And another important feature is this matrix is always solid. So if you consider and unlike in the epithelial tissue, the connective tissue contains a good supply of blood and good supply of nervous tissue and nerve supply. Okay, so if you consider the functions of this connective tissue, first thing, maintain the connection between the different organs and different tissues. And if you consider the examples like bones and cartilage, it provides support to the entire body. Now, out of this some of these examples we consider, we'll look about this blood tissue a bit in detail. Some important features I said for the connective tissue are presence of different types of cells, presence of different types of fibers, and fibers has to be prominent, or always the fibers has to be present in the tissue. Another one is the matrix has to be solid, and this matrix has to be secreted by its own cells. But if we consider this blood tissue, we can imagine the blood where the cells and fibers are present in a liquid or a liquid fluid. We call that fluid where the cells of blood present as blood plasma. If we consider the blood plasma, very first thing is it is not a solid. Unlike in the other connective tissue, it is not a solid. So the blood plasma is a liquid. Another thing, it's a fluid. Another thing is the matrix has to be secreted by its own cells. But when you consider the blood plasma, it is not secreted by its own cells. Another important feature of the connective tissue, these fibers has to be present always in the connective tissue. But if we consider a blood tissue, we don't see always these blood fibers present in the blood. Whenever we have a wound in our hand, we'll see bleeding, and after some we'll see automatically the bleeding stop due to formation of a clot-like structure. This clot forms due to a special substance called fibrin, and this fibrin only we call it as a blood fibers. Okay, so these blood fibers are present only during the clotting stage of the blood. So these features make a blood to be slightly different from the other connective tissue. So for the blood tissue, we give another term called special connective tissue. So the main function of the special connective tissue blood is in maintaining connection between tissues and cells. But other than that, if we consider the different types of cells, even blood contains different types of cells we call red blood cells, or in another term we call it as erythrocytes. And the second type is white blood cells, and another term we call it as leukocytes, and the third type of blood we call it as platelet. So the blood contains other common feature consists of different types of cells in its matrix. Let's look at some important functions of this blood. When I consider the functions of blood, even if I don't mention this function, you will know this. It is transportation function. So already we discussed how this blood involved in transportation. For example, blood from transport oxygen from lungs into other tissues, and from other tissue it collects carbon dioxide back to lungs, and it collects waste material from all other tissues into kidney, and from it takes all the waste materials into kidney. Also from digestive system it transports nutrition into other tissue. So blood involved in a wide range of transportation. Another important function is the function of these white blood cells or leukocytes. It is we call it as providing protection. These white blood cells or leukocytes act as the immune system of the body that protects our body from foreign bodies. So this provides the immunity. Another important function of blood is providing support. We consider some of the internal organs. It provides the necessary stiffness and provides the required protection and the support.